Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's FaithDuo.
Back with another video, and today we're going to talk about, break down our spoken word. We hope y'all liked it.
Yeah. Don't forget to share with your friends. We just want everybody to know that, you know, God is real and that He's here for everybody.
Definitely, because we worked on this for a pretty good while, and we think it's really important. So definitely try to share that if you can. It means a lot to us.
Or like it to let us know that you like that type of content.
Or tag somebody too, or one of your friends or something. So we're going to do a breakdown of our spoken word, just kind of talk about it a little bit, and to break down some of that stuff that we said.
Yeah, and why we said it, and stuff like that.
All right, so here we go.
Pause it. Okay, here, Raph was just over there. When we filmed this, we had no idea what we were doing. And Raph was over by some trees, and I was looking over there like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I was trying to capture the nature, the beauty.
I was like, he is doing too much.
Hey, I guess I'm inside. I'm a, what do you call it? A
creative person?
Yes, I'm a creative person, or a videographer or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know you were that qualified now.
You know, got many talents.
Why am I a Christian?
It's not popular to be a Christian. It's outdated. Believing in a God is overrated.
There are so many things. Okay.
So, yeah, we just wanted to capture, people are, saying that being a Christian is overrated. It's not something in our society that people are looking for right now. I mean, hence our subscriber count.
Stop.
No. But seriously, nobody's typing out trying to be a Christian or whatever like that, because we have so many distractions now. And
I feel like everybody just thinks like everything's known, so there's nothing higher than human. You know what I mean? I feel like
since we have all this information now.
Right, and there's so much technology. I mean, there's so many things that people are being able to do, and we just want to, bring it back home and let people realize that, like, God still created, like, none of this would exist without Him, including the technology that saves people's lives, takes people to space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's advanced, and we have that because of God.
Things that says God isn't, but there is so much more that says God is. The science that we let define our world says it's a fact that every design needs a designer. Okay, so this part was when we were like kind of writing this part, we were thinking about how, science people believe in because you can see it. They believe in it because, they let it take care of them, like the science with medicine, science.
Yeah, we trust science. I mean, we went to school, so most everybody went to school or high school, and they pounded science into you. And so we we need a hypothesis, we need a theory, whatever that whole layout is, observation, stuff like that to test. And we know that type of stuff, and so that's what we trust and we kind of gravitate towards. Right.
So it's easier for people to believe in science before they would God. But the fact of it is every single thing in this world is a design. From the hornet's nest, how it's designed, from your body and how it reacts.
Right. Your body is so complicated.
Right.
And it's not simple in any aspect. And even just thinking about how when you cut yourself, your body heals itself.
Right.
And every night, when you go to sleep, your body heals itself. It's just crazy from everything that, God has given to us.
Right. So what? Is it not obvious that you are a design with its own individual shine?
Skeletal, muscular, nervous system.
So like we were saying, like science is evidence of a designer of this world, and that designer is God.
Right. You have to have some type of design or designer for to have a specific design.
Yeah.
Nothing by accident, no chaos can create something organized.
And so that's what we were trying to say, is that's a fact. Like, it's everything, it's something that everybody can agree with, that every design needs a designer. So that's what we're saying, is just pure evidence that God is real.
Definitely.
Don't look too deep or you might miss him. Beauty of the ocean, the sunset sky, his hand is at work, you can't even deny. But God created everything we see. He didn't want us walking around aimlessly.
He gave us a guide. You probably think it's just a storybook. It's time to step back and take another look. Historians and archaeologists can't refute it. Over years and years, they keep on proving it. Go ahead and Google it.
So looking at, he gave us a guide, and we know that guide is the Bible, and that's how he speaks to us today. And when we look at that, we know what he wants from us. We know how we should act and carry ourselves, and who we should be. And he gives us a mission as well, to teach others, to reach other people, and to follow his word.
Right, and people just think that, like we said, the Bible is just a storybook, when really it's like the world's history book. It's real. It's accurate, and it's hard for people to grasp that there's been a book around this long, or
Right.
just.
And there's a reason why it's the the highest selling book, or sold billions and billions of copies, because it's not going away. It's here to stay because it's divine. If this was man's work, it would have faded away.
That is so true. Good point. Good point. And we just, if there's so many people who are so content with letting, so other things tell them what something is. Like, you have to do your research. And if you do your research on the Bible, like we were saying, you'll see that it's 100% accurate, and nobody can prove it wrong.
Right.
And so that's how you know it's not man-made.
And I know there's a good book called Case for Christ, and I think there's a movie as well. We saw it a while ago, but it breaks down like an atheist that wanted to prove that Christianity was wrong, and he goes point by point and looking at that, trying to break it down, but he ends up becoming a Christian because of all his research. And that's something that we'll probably go into and talk a little bit in another video or something like that, but it's very interesting.
Definitely.
But also, we said you think it's a storybook because there's so many crazy stories or accounts in there.
Yeah.
I like to call them accounts and not stories. But there's so many crazy ones in there that it's like, there's no way this could happen.
Well, they have evidence that some of them happened.
Right. Well, some of them, evidence of some of them, but like the floating axe head, or David killing, a huge giant with just a stone.
Right.
Just a lot of different ones, having the time stand still and all that. But they had to have that back then because God was trying to reveal to them that he is the true God, that he is real, and even miracles with Jesus. It's just he had to prove that he was who he said he was. And now we have that, the Bible to confirm that, lasting all these generations, built by or written by 40 different men over generations and generations. There's no way anybody could do that and put that together and line up perfectly.
Exactly.
We've all heard of the man named Jesus. Was he the liar, the lunatic, or the Lord who freed us? This man was the Son of God, sent from above to come and give you the ultimate love. Jesus Christ was crucified so that you and I might be sanctified.
So the thing about the Bible is, like, it all comes to a head. The Bible all connects to one another. And like Raph said, like, the Bible wasn't put together just all at once. Like there were different writers from different generations and different
Time
periods, and they finally brought it together, and everything is connected, and it's this whole basically love story about how God wanted to save mankind, and he sent his son Jesus. And it's like you go back and you see in the Old Testament that like there's stuff that from the very beginning that shows about Jesus, and it's like, so from the very beginning he wanted to save us and us to be with him forever. So
exactly. And it's just crazy how everything comes, and it comes to exactly how it says it was going to be, like in the Old Testament come to the New Testament. And when Jesus finally came, they thought he was a liar. They thought he was crazy, because they read about him in the Old Testament, and then now he's finally here, but they thought of him being like an earthly king. They thought that he was going to be somebody that's going to rule on this earth and take over like the Roman Empire or whatever, but he came to be totally different, to be a spiritual king.
And he didn't come like in a high position. He came lowly to the
He came in the very opposite way that you think a king would come.
Right, and we just wanted to kind of highlight about Jesus, because that's what the Bible is about Jesus, and that he was crucified to save you and me. Like everybody matters to Jesus, and that's just what we wanted to get across to people. See, God has always had a plan for you. He created you out of love, but so many people are so busy looking down on others, they haven't even thought to look above. He's the God that no one has time for, the God that people choose to ignore. So this part was kind of just honing in about how, I guess people were just all moving so fast and worried about everything else, and about how we're better than someone, or someone needs to stay away from us, like stuff like that. Like they haven't even thought to think outside of themselves.
Right, we're so selfish, because that's, I guess, our human nature is trying to look out for ourselves, and anybody that comes across you, maybe you want to look down on them or think negative of them, that may have some negative impression on you, but we need to look to God and see what, like I said, he came to do the complete opposite. He wants us to love our enemies. He wants us to pray for those who use us, and it's just everything is opposite of the world. But like she said, nobody really has time anymore, because we're all on our phones, we're distracted, but we'll get into that, I think, in a second as well.
Right, but we just think that it's so important for people to realize that, like, life works much better. Like it works perfectly when you do it God's way. For example, marriages, they work better when you do it God's way. Friendships, they work better when you do it God's way. Like, you can have the best friendships ever with someone who is trying to be better for God, because they're going to be trying to treat you better than themselves.
Right.
Like, this, like, it just works out so much better.
Yeah, it works out perfectly. And that's, if you look around in your life and see why things, you ask yourself why things are the way they are, just think of what you're doing with yourself. Are you focused mainly on yourself? Well, that's probably why things are going this way. Or are you focused on the other person in a relationship, and your relationship will get better?
Right. There's a scripture, I can't think of it right now, but I think it's in Proverbs, where it talks about how God's ways are higher than ours. Like, there's a way that man thinks is good, but really it's not. And it's like, if you're focused on your own way and you think that your way is the best, that's why it's good to have one general rule, which is God's rule, which is the best. to go by, and then everybody will get along.
Exactly.
I guess you and I know better, right? Having too much fun redefining what we don't like, we can look up everything in the blink of an eye. Getting caught up with what's online?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Blinded by everything, but it couldn't be clearer. Our God, our Creator, is always in plain sight. He works within us and gives us our might.
He's the good you see in people.
So once again, looking at the distractions, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But again, what we just said, what did I just say?
You said redefining.
Redefining what we don't like.
Yeah, that was a big one, because I don't know how to put this. Like, people, that's another way about man's way. They think that we all think that we know better about how things should run, when it was already written out how we should run, because God knows how we were created, and He knows every emotion that you could ever feel and the best way to live your life.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, and then people, don't like something, they're going to try to figure out a way around it. You're always going to try to figure out something that you can do to get around. So, even just being a Christian, or saying that you're a Christian, you may not like going to church every Sunday or whatever, and you try to figure out a way, how can I do this without going to church? And some people feel like it's okay to sit at home and just be by yourself and to read. And it's great that we can do that and should spend that time with God ourselves, but we also need to be there with the church, which are the people, to encourage each other.
Which is all about, as far as like that one example of going to church, is like, you think that you can do it by yourself.
Right.
But when you go through something in life, like, God wants you to have somebody. God wants you to get the best help that you could, the best support that you could. Obviously, God created us and we can do anything, but don't you want it to be easier, and don't you want to make it through things better? Like, it just always makes sense.
Right. He wants you to have a family.
Right. That, and everybody is all about, majority of the world is 100% family.
You have a family.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you are. You came from somewhere. So.
Right. We say He works within us and gives us our might. Like, we're going to get into that in a minute, but, God gives you the strength to get through things.
Definitely.
So let's get to it.
He's the good you see in people, the reason we aren't overcome by evil. He's that strength in that overwhelming pain.
He's what pulls you through your darkest times. With God, there's no mountain you can't climb. All right, so this is for people who believe in God, and this is for people who especially don't believe in God. It's like, as Christians, we get to go in life, and we think that, oh, we're doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But really, you're not. Like, you could not do that if God didn't help you. And there's so many times that you're going to break down and feel like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this situation. Something bad happens, loss of a person. I know that you guys, when somebody passes away, like, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Like, I don't know how I'm going to move on without them. But somehow you find the strength to move on. And you're like, you didn't do that. God did that. God helped you through that.
Right. And, like we said before in another video, that, the devil is looking and seeking whom he may devour. So he's always on the prowl trying to isolate you and get you uncomfortable and away from people so that he can take you down. And with life situations, every single day he's trying his hardest to get at you. And we have to look to God for that strength, and he will pull you through. Because he is the better way, and he's stronger than the devil that wants to keep you down.
Exactly, because everybody, majority believes that, like, the bad in the world comes from somewhere, and it's just
Right,
like,
whether it's like karma or whatever.
right, and it's just like some things I know you think that you won't make it through it, and somehow you do, and that's because of God.
Right.
I'm sure you're thinking there's a chance what we're saying isn't true. But take a second. Think it through.
The risk of your eternity is on you. So, in the end, we just really want everybody to wake up. We just want you to wake up if you are lost or you just feel like, I don't know, how would you say it?
I mean, I know there's, people that's going to think that, Christianity or whatever is not true or God's not real. We talked to somebody today that said he didn't believe in God. And, you have your right to your own opinion. Like we're saying, you may not think it's true, but what if it is? What if you die and you are going to die, and then you have to, speak up for your life when you get to the judgment day. So what if it's true, and if it is, are you risking, your life, what you're doing right now, on that percentage that it is true?
Right. And my thing is, it's like, it's so easy to say something isn't. Take the time and do your research. If you do your research, I 100% promise you, you will see that everything we're saying is true, and that God is real, and that the Bible is accurate. And once you have that foundation of believing that and having faith that the Bible is real and that God is real, you know what to do with life. Like, there's a guide for you. It's
right.
Just,
and you don't have to stress about things because, he tells us to put all of our burdens on him, and we don't have to worry about anything. We just do our best to follow his word, bringing and helping others, and bringing other people to him, and give every care to him, because he's going to work it out. No matter what, he's going to take care of it. And that's why I think we live so much more of a better and abundant life, because we don't have to worry about, things that other people that don't have God in their lives.
the biggest thing is having the confidence of knowing what's going to happen when you die. Like,
Yeah, when you get to that deathbed,
just knowing for sure what's going to happen when you die. You live a faithful life to God, and you know you're going to heaven. Like, it's just knowing that.
is peace of mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But there's also a chance you don't know when that's going to happen, when you're going to lose your life, when you're going to pass away.
So don't wait. Find out now. Find out if, when you do research or you go and you talk to somebody who is a Christian, or you can even message us on here so we can give you some information.
Right. But we'd love to point you in the right direction or speak with you, and also pray with you as well.
Right. So, don't wait. Find out now. So.
But yeah, thank y'all for watching this episode. We hope that y'all got something good from our spoken word, and something from this breakdown of this video that touched you and you felt it a little bit more, because I know we kind of went through that spoken word and you may not have caught everything, and I hope that it kind of brought some things to light.
All right. We hope you like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
Definitely. So we love you, appreciate you, be the light.